So everything that I receive is all God, it's all the universal prime creator feeding into the fulfillment of my soul's purpose. Because the creator is me and I'm the creator. Just like you are the creator and the creator is you. Experiencing reality for the purpose of growth, expansion, progression, fun, creativity, excitement, everything. Money doesn't want to be where it has to be stagnant. And I don't think I'll ever forget my soul. Like, I think this is the loudest that I've ever heard it. Basically yelled at me saying, "There ain't nothing for you here, bro. There ain't nothing for you here. There's nothing here for you." That's what it was telling me. My relationship with money has changed. I know that how much money I receive is a reflection of the state that I'm in. Am I too stagnant? Am I moving too slowly? Am I rejecting certain aspects of myself that money wants to flow into? So, just like everything else, everything is a mirror. Everything is a mirror. And so, I'm choosing to see the highest version of myself. And if I can't see that here, then I need to go somewhere else to see that. And so, I bring up again something that, oh man, this is good. Something that, oh man, I'm just making a connection right now as I'm speaking this out loud. So that's why I'm getting kind of happy and giddy, because I love making connections like this within myself. So my soul is telling me that so much love and wholeness. I'm Wealthier, and I have another journal entry for you. Another thing that I've been working through, and honestly, another personal topic, another personal subject, and it just deals with worthiness, self-worth. It's something that I didn't realize that I needed to actually heal from and actually overcome, actually learn how to be worthy of myself until very recently. So I have it written out. Let's get into it. So recently I started feeling anxious and worried about something, but I didn't know what it was exactly. So I sat with myself. This was taking place in the process of making dinner, and I was playing my music and trying to be in a good state of mind and in a good state of being, but I couldn't shake the feeling of anxiety and worry. So I turned off my music and focused on that feeling and where it was trying to lead me within myself. Because all feelings, like everything that you feel is leading you to a deeper aspect of yourself. And so I was allowing myself to go really in depth and find the roots of it. And this breakthrough happened literally while I was in the process of making a pizza for myself. So this shows that as long as you tune out the noise and just listen to the divine within, even if you're physically doing something, as long as you're fully present in the moment, the breakthrough that you need can happen at literally any time, any moment. So as I was finishing making the dough, how's that for foreshadowing? I was guided to the real root of it. I was feeling anxious about my finances and worrying about having enough money for rent and to fund my travel plans and to fund my business and all this stuff, right? So it showed me that I still have so much more healing to do regarding my relationship with money and finances. So I haven't really been, balling financially or rich or anything like that, at least not yet. And in fact, just being totally open and honest, I've been, just barely scraping by to make ends meet. And it's been pretty tough. It's been pretty rough. But in that breakthrough moment, my intuition was telling me that the more that I heal my relationship with money, the more I will be able to receive. And so I started thinking about how I view money. I used to view it as evil because I used to be caught up in, seeing rich people, like as people who exploit and stomp all over other people to get what they're at and everything. But in reality, every rich person isn't like that. In fact, I say that there's more kind-hearted wealthy people than there are evil-hearted wealthy people. I know some kind-hearted wealthy people personally. They're very kind, very generous, and very upfront, very real, raw, and authentic. And, that's kind of a different topic, but getting back on track, I grew out of that phase of seeing money as evil. And I began to realize that money is just a tool and nothing more, nothing less. And it's something that is neutral and something that can be used in any way. I started reshaping my view of money and how I like to utilize it for myself. And now I'm choosing to use money for the benefit of myself, my loved ones, and the overall good of the collective. And that's the choice that I made in that moment. I've never really struggled with that. But what was an issue was how I viewed the process of actually getting money for myself. My issue was with seeing money as something that I had to trade my time and energy for. I didn't see that I had any value within myself beyond what I can do physically, as in trading my time and energy for money. I didn't see any value within myself besides that. And so that alone kept me in a cycle of just barely having enough. And sometimes, honestly, more than sometimes, needing to ask for help with rent and stuff like that. So I was stuck in survival mode because I couldn't really see the real value within myself. I was stuck in that pattern of seeing myself as less than. And that was the real issue right there. I knew that I came here to this earth to master myself and to help others do the same for themselves. But I didn't truly believe that I had any value if I wasn't physically exhausting myself with work and doing everything that I can for very little in return. How messed up is that? So I let an old mindset of poverty subconsciously trick me out of my real wealth for years. And that's over and done with now, though. So I've learned what I need to learn from that experience of having that mentality. I've learned how to survive with having very little. I've learned how to push myself to my max, both physically and mentally. I've learned how to navigate depression and exhaustion. I've learned how to stay disciplined and diligent no matter the circumstances, no matter what I'm feeling. I've learned how to be creative and create things that generate money without having access to everything that I need, that I thought I needed. I've learned all that and then some, a whole lot. But now I must heal from the scars that those experiences have given me. I must heal my mind and my soul in order to move forward and claim my true wealth that I've been longing for. The wealth that is already rightfully mine as a result of my past lives and my bloodline. And healing my relationship with money begins first with healing my perception of my own worth as a being. So I allow myself to let go of the old poverty programming of I'm worth only what I can do physically. I let go of it. Simply, I choose to let go of it, and then I ask myself, so what should replace that old program? And what came to me was this. Look at money that I receive as an investment in me. So every little bit of money that I receive, that's an investment in me. And no matter how I receive it, whether it's someone purchasing a product or a service that I offer, whether it's a donation or a gift, whether it's receiving just help with rent or whatever it is, receive it with gratitude, knowing that I'm being invested into because I am worth the investment. I let go of receiving money with the anxious feeling of having to give it back or pay it back. Even if it's someone like my parents helping me with bills or rent or something like that, I let go of that way of thinking and feeling. I simply let go of it. I instead choose to feel the divine in every single transaction. I choose to see how God is literally supporting me in everything that I do. Because at the end of the day, I've always had what I needed to survive. I've always had enough money to live and continue living. And every single time I was helped financially, or I made enough money with my business from work, that was literally God acting through those people to support me in my soul's purpose. So every time that I made money, every time that I received money, that was literally that was God acting through those people in order to support me in my soul's purpose, fulfilling my soul's purpose. And I'm here on a mission that I cannot fail. I can only succeed because I have the divine with me. I have the divine within me. So from now on, I'm seeing every little bit of money and resource that I receive or have access to as a personal investment in me from God itself, from the universal prime creator, to support me and feed into the fulfillment of my soul's purpose. So everything that I receive is all God, is all the universal prime creator, feeding into the fulfillment of my soul's purpose. Because the creator is me and I'm the creator, just like you are the creator and the creator is you, experiencing reality for the purpose of growth, expansion, progression, fun, creativity, excitement, everything. You're all being invested into, just like how I'm seeing myself as being invested into. So that lets me know and fully understand that I am worth it. I am worth the investment. I was created to fulfill a purpose, and I am worthy of receiving everything that I need for that purpose. And not only that, I'm also worthy of receiving everything that I desire, because my heart, my mind, my spirit, and my soul are all in alignment with my highest good, which is all in alignment with the highest good of the Creator. So now that my subconscious mind sees money as a valuable tool that helps me fulfill my purpose, is there anything else that I need? Is there anything else with my relationship to money that I need to heal? I ask myself this question, because this is how I do it. I ask myself a question, and knowing that I'm not just asking myself, I'm asking the divine within me. So that goes from my spirit guides, the archangels, different deities, different benevolent deities. But through asking myself, I'm asking all of them, because all is me and I am all. So after asking myself that question, is there anything else that I need to heal with my relationship to money? The answer is definitely yes. So what else is there? Well, using money for things that I desire, like new clothes, a new car, experiences like concerts or different types of adventures and traveling, having fun. Ultimately, I'm worthy of having fun and enjoying my life, because that's something that I didn't really believe, that I wasn't worthy of having fun and enjoying my life. So the belief that I shouldn't use my money for fun things comes from seeing my parents struggle and not wanting to be me not wanting to be a financial burden to them. And so when I was little, going back into story time here, when I was little, I was always cautious of how much money I was costing my parents. Like when we'd get fast food or go to the store or go to a restaurant, I'd always limit myself and not ask for everything that I really wanted. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't preventing us as a family from getting all the essentials. So growing up, I didn't even realize how much I've continued embodying this way of thinking. Even up until the point of writing this, which was now about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, even up to the point of writing this, I've operated with a mentality of, it's okay, I can do without that. Even if I really, really wanted it, it became easier for me to look past it and ignore the things that I really would actually enjoy. It's become easy to hold something in my hands. Like say I'm going to the store, it's become easy to hold something in my hands and know that I really want to buy it, only to say, actually, you know what? I don't really need it. I can pass on that. And on one hand, it shows great discipline. But on the other hand, I got so used to denying myself of my desires that I honestly haven't been experiencing much pleasure in my life. Like, quick side note, I remember having a conversation with one of my best friends, and we're discussing the topic of pleasure, not only in a sexual way. We're talking about it in that way too, but pleasure just in general, whether it be sexually, whether it be buying things that you love, whether it be going out to enjoy, a fun experience with friends, stuff like that, things that are just pleasurable. And I wasn't really experiencing any pleasure in my life because at that time I was focused on the pain and suffering that I was in, and I was only focused on just escaping that. And yeah, it was just one of those moments where I realized, like, dang, I'm not really living my life. I'm just surviving it. And in that moment, that was a big shift that led into all this right here as well. But getting back to it, for example, the same day that I'm writing this, which was again about 2 weeks ago, there's an event in Joshua Tree that I really wanted to go to, really wanted to attend. It would seem like a great, community event where it's, potential soul family there. Actually, I know one of the guys there who was hosting it. Yeah, he's part of my soul family. And he does breath work, meditation, guided meditations. And there's, other people there facilitating as well. And it seemed like a really, really dope event that I wanted to go to. And again, I've been craving being around other like-minded souls and connecting with more people and establishing a better sense of community with others. It probably wouldn't have been a responsible move financially if I went to that, but I feel that I would have enjoyed it so much, and possibly it would have helped me in ways that aren't quantifiable in numbers per se, and numbers are money. And all I've been doing in the past few months is work and spend time in solitude. Like that's almost it. So I've had some experiences where I took a trip to see my best friend and got to celebrate my birthday with close friends and family. But outside of that, and I'm grateful for those 2 experiences, but outside of that, my life has been a continuous loop of wake up, work on my business, work out, train clients, and squeeze in some time for self-care before going to sleep. That's pretty much it. That same loop day after day. And just like observe that for a second. You can count working out as part of self-care, but the self-care that I'm talking about is squeezing in time to make myself meals, squeezing in time to just relax and not think about work or making progress or being productive, and just time to just actually enjoy, like maybe even just kick back and watch a YouTube video, listen to some music, like just simple stuff like that. It's been something that I had to squeeze in rather than something that is naturally a part of my life. And so hardly any genuine human connection with that. Outside of the clients that I train, I work out by myself, wake up by myself, prepare food by myself, take care of myself by myself, and hardly ever come into contact with other humans outside of the few clients that I'm training right now. So yeah, again, hardly any human connection, hardly any fun. And this life that I've created for myself has been the result of that subconscious programming that says, I can do without this. Even if I genuinely want it or want to experience it, I can still do without it. That programming. And some of you may be thinking, but you can have fun while working out and training and stuff and working and all that stuff. And yeah, I agree. But in my situation, I've been also dealing with the fact that my soul is not happy here. So you have to take that into consideration as well. My soul has not been happy here in this physical location. Mainly talking about just Southern California in general. Again, beautiful place, I have a home to live in, great view and everything. But again, like if my soul isn't happy here, I know it's for a reason. And so it's been telling me that I need to travel for years now. My soul has been telling me to travel for years now. So the longer that I take to act on that, the more difficult I find it to genuinely enjoy my life here. And that's just being real. But that'll be another video. So getting back to the main topic right now, I need to replace that old programming with something new that feels right in my soul. So what can that be? Instead of I can do without, I can acknowledge my desires and ask, so how can this help me? So instead of immediately assuming that this will set me back, think, no, what if this can help me? And how can this help me? In what ways can this help me? How can this be beneficial for me? How amazing can this be? So moving with that mentality instead. So I trust that my desires arise for a reason. In this context, my desires for more food, more rest, my desires for just taking care of myself, taking better care of myself, and not in a way where I'm abandoning my mission, abandoning my soul's purpose, but in a way that I can receive those things in alignment with my soul's purpose, in ways that are helpful and beneficial for my soul's purpose. I go into it a little bit deeper. I've done enough work within myself to discern between a surface level, ego-driven desire and a soul urge. Soul urge is really what I'm talking about. A soul urge being a desire that comes from the soul as a result of recognizing something that is in alignment with my highest good. Again, what I just said. So, you know what? Both are valid. I have to accept that both the surface level desires and the soul urges, they're both valid. They're both part of this human experience, and they both can be used for good, for healthy and beneficial purposes. So both ego-driven desires and soul urges are valid. Although I will say that ego-driven desires are valid only when there is something that is beneficial for me. I do not condone being reckless or reckless behavior. So with that being said, I give myself permission to purchase and receive and act on things that I desire, because I fully trust the fact that I deserve to live a full life of enjoyment and fun. I allow myself to receive everything that is healthy and beneficial for me. And that's where I left off with this journal entry. And so just kind of not really going over everything, but I like to drop into my heart space and really just speak raw and real and authentically from my heart after going over that again. Because again, I wrote that journal entry about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and I've grown since then. I'm not that same exact person that I was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I've learned these lessons. As I was writing through them, I became aware of them, conscious of them, learned how to deal with them, how to interact with them, how to learn from them, and then integrated those lessons within myself. So now the question comes up, so where am I at now? I was there in a place where my relationship with money was toxic, it was unhealthy, it was non-beneficial. So now I'm in a place where it is healthy and it is beneficial, and I'm continuously working on that, on developing the relationship more and more. Because now, like I said in the journal entry, I see money as a tool. It's just that, it's just a tool. And I also see it as a reflection, because it's also currency, right? Money is currency. So that represents energy. Energy loves to move, energy loves to flow. And so the more stagnant that I am within myself, the more stagnant that I am here, the less money wants to come to me. It's an energy. And so I bring up again something that, man, this is good. Something that, I'm just making a connection right now as I'm speaking this out loud. So that's why I'm getting kind of happy and giddy, because I love making connections like this within myself. So my soul is telling me that, or it has been telling me in the past, like in the recent few weeks, that there's nothing for me here. There's nothing for me here. And not in a pessimistic way. Like, I literally was meditating one day, and I asked my highest self, why am I still here? No. Before I asked myself that, I asked, so why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? And the way that I was feeling was stuck, stagnant, like nothing was really moving for me. I felt anxious, I felt stressed, I felt all those things. asked myself, I sat with myself, I sat with those feelings, and I just, during meditation, I asked myself, so why am I feeling this way? And I don't think I'll ever forget my soul. Like, I think this is the loudest that I've ever heard it. Basically yelled at me saying, there ain't nothing for you here, bro. There ain't nothing for you here. There's nothing here for you. That's what it was telling me. Just like that. There's nothing here for you. And then this happened just 2 or 3 days ago. I was coming out of a meditation, and I like during this meditation, I just wanted to just rest, be still, and not focus on anything. But as I was coming out of the meditation, I kept feeling that this was more subtle this time, but I felt that same energy of being stuck, stagnant, and anxious and stressed. Again, it wasn't very prevalent, but it was still slightly there. It was still there. And I heard this voice. This felt like a spirit guide that was looking out for me and just kind of like butting in, saying like, yo, you've already heard this, but yo, here it is. So what it told me was, you ain't supposed to be here, man. There's somewhere else you gotta be. That's literally how it said it. It felt like it was like an old head, like that OG that just like, it's just giving you game. It's just like, there ain't nothing for you. There ain't nothing for you here, man. Don't you know you're supposed to be somewhere else? You got somewhere else to be. That's literally how I said it. And it was just like another one of those experiences where it's like, just brought so much more clarity that I knew consciously, even in my ego, I knew that there was nothing here for me. But that's the part that I didn't really trust. It was my ego. But that was confirmation from my soul, confirmation from my spirit, confirmation from my highest self, confirmation from spirit guides. So it was like, okay, yeah, there's nothing to hold on to anymore. There's nothing that I need to be attached to here. There's nothing besides relationships that I want to stay connected with here anymore. And so bringing it back to the connection that I just made before expressing all that was that money doesn't want to be where it has to be stagnant. And me feeling stagnant while being here, I mean, like it's obvious, plain as day right now, because I've been doing everything that I could to support and sustain myself here. But let me say it like this. I've been doing everything that I could that is in alignment with my highest good to support and sustain myself here. Because, yeah, I understand that there's other things that I could have done. Like I could have went out and got a second job in between, what I'm already doing with my business and I'm building another business. I could have got a job that would financially support me. But every time that I applied for a job, every time that I almost went through with an interview, I just felt so drained. Like it felt like that same feeling that I had all throughout my college career. That feeling of depression, being drained every single day from doing something that you don't want to do and that is not right for you, but you continue doing it anyway. And that's that feeling that kept coming up again. And my intuition was telling me every time that I applied for a new job, every time I was even just looking for a job, every time I even thought about getting a job, because I was willing to, like I had accepted that within myself, like, yo, if I have to get another job outside of my business, I'll do it. I'll do whatever is necessary. In the past, I did not want to work a job. I have the strong entrepreneurial spirit. But at the same time, like here, like I know that things aren't going how I want them to go here. So I accepted it, yo. If I need a job, I'll get a job and I'll be grateful for it. Whatever is best for me on my path, whatever is best for me in becoming my highest self, whatever is best for me in my highest good, I will do it. And every time that I thought about, heavily considered getting a job, applied to new jobs, and just everything revolving around that, my intuition always just said the same thing. Is that really what you want? Is is that really what you want to do? Like, for real? And the answer was always no. It's not what I want to do. And then after I answered no, it always respond the same way. So then why go down that route again? You've already been there. You've already done that. Why do it again? You already know what happened last time. Why do you want to do that again? So it then became about just faith. But again, that's another topic right there. But bringing it back to the point that I was making, the connection of money not wanting to be stagnant. So therefore, when it goes, if you are someone like how I was that was feeling stagnant, money ain't gonna come to you. Money is not gonna come to you. It's like water. Literally, money is like water. And so think about it like this. You have a flowing river. It's full of, everything that is in the water, whether it be animal life, whether it's the nutrients that are in the water, the oxygen, the minerals from the rocks and everything, and the soil beneath it, everything's getting swept up and everything. And it's life-sustaining. That water becomes sustaining of life. But what happens when you cut off that flow of water? What happens when you dam that water up and it becomes still, becomes stagnant? Because we talk about stillness in the spiritual community, something that's very good, and it is. But in the case of water, when it becomes still for too long, that's when it becomes stagnant. Same thing with us. When we sit in stillness for too long, we become stagnant. And being stagnant, that's when negative things, bad things, harmful things start to fester. That's when the water becomes toxic. Now you can't drink it. Now, instead of sustaining life and giving life, now it can actually take life. It can make you sick. It can possibly kill you, depending on the toxicity levels in it. And with money, it's the same exact thing. Same exact thing. If you're someone that, this is why there's so many people that spend a lot of money, but at the same time, they make a lot of money. Now, overspending, that's another topic. We're not going to get into that right now. But there's always those people that spend a lot, make a lot, spend a lot, make a lot. That's because money loves flowing through them. They're a conduit, they're a channel, they're a vessel for money to continue flowing. Money wants to serve, and it wants to be served, as in it wants to continue moving, it wants to continue flowing, it wants to continue swimming and flowing with the current. So that's why they call it currency. And so being in a place where I knew, and I still know, even like right now I'm making this video, I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know this place isn't really serving me. It's helping me, of course, stay alive and be healthy enough to continue living. But it's not a place for me to thrive right now. It's not a place for me to really grow and expand and evolve and grow into that aspect of the higher version of myself that I know I am. It's not here. It's not here. And yes, I can do it. Like I was meditating and checking in with my timeline, peering into my timeline, seeing how things would go if I were to stay here. And honestly, there's so many things that I'd be missing out on that would take me so much longer to learn here in order for me to grow into the version that I need to grow into in order to fulfill my purpose. It would take me at least another somewhere between 20 and 40 years to really reach that version of myself that is capable of even fulfilling my soul's purpose. But with traveling, with what I know my soul has been calling me to do, with certain places throughout the world that have been calling me to visit there and go there and spend time there, if I go and visit those places, when I go and visit those places, now my timeline is speeding up. Now my timeline is accelerating. Now, because I'm growing, I'm being introduced to all these new things that I needed to be introduced to new people, new experiences, new things, new items, all this stuff. All these things are reflections so that I can look at myself from different aspects, different angles. And so if I'm used to seeing myself in the same mirror, the same few mirrors every single day, then I only get used to seeing those specific aspects of myself when there is so much more of myself that I need to grow, that I need to go out and explore in order to explore what's in myself and discover what's really within myself. And so that's what my soul has been calling me. And when I do experience those things, now I'm flowing. Now I'm in motion. Now I'm healthily moving forward in a way that is really harmonious and healthy and beneficial and in rhythm with my highest self. And when I'm in that state, money comes to me easily. And I don't even have to worry about money at that point. So my relationship with money, going back to the root, my relationship with money has changed. I know that how much money I receive is a reflection of the state that I'm in. Am I too stagnant? Am I moving too slowly? Am I rejecting certain aspects of myself that money wants to flow into? So, just like everything else, everything is a mirror. Everything is a mirror. And so, I'm choosing to see the highest version of myself. And if I can't see that here, then I need to go somewhere else to see that. Now, of course, yes, technically you can see your highest self from anywhere in the world. But with experiences that we've garnered while we're growing up, experiences that we've had while growing up, and those experiences playing significant roles and impacting our subconscious mind and our subconscious programming that then dictates our entire life and how we experience life and how we see life. If you really want to see your highest self, you have to get rid of all that subconscious programming that holds you down and holds you back. You have to not get rid of it, but you have to transmute it. You have to learn from it, understand it, and integrate it so that you can grow into and become your highest self. And that's when you see your highest self. And just leaving it off on this, it's incredibly difficult to do that if you stay in the same place your entire life. Because being here, I've been here almost my entire life. The only other places that I've lived were about an hour and a half away outside of LA. And that was only when I was in college, which again was a great experience, as in that being my first time living away from home, at least just an hour and a half from home. But still, that's not enough for me. That's not what my soul is really calling for. My soul is calling me to be outside the country, at the very least traveling around the country, but honestly both. So that's what my soul is calling me. And the more that I answer to that, the more that I continue saying yes to that, the more the steps for me to take present themselves. So I'm leaving it off on that. And I know that, again, if you stayed to this part of the video, that you got hopefully a lot from this. It resonated with you for a reason. So trust that reason, dive into that reason, learn from that reason, see what it's telling you, see what it's teaching you, and learn how to integrate those lessons into yourself, so you can become the highest version of yourself. So I'll leave it off on that. Much love. Send y'all much love, wholeness, gratitude, honor, and respect. Ashe.